Modern cars, so many things can be said about them, things we love and things we kinda wish would go away. Automotive trends, just like fashion, don't typically last a very long time. Well, unless it's widely accepted by us, the consumers. Trends like large infotainment displays have been justified in a way, even though there are a handful of negatives that can be said about them, mainly related to safety and ease of use. But see, according to auto manufacturers, they help modernize a car's interior while packing a bunch of customizable features that normally wouldn't be available in a car without one. Long story short, infotainment displays are here to stay, and they aren't going anywhere, and that's okay. Well, kind of. Same with engine downsizing and electric powered vehicles, they are here to stay. But the ongoing trend of grills getting bigger and bigger on cars, what is seriously going on there? Is there a logical reason as to why they continue to increase in size, and when will it end? Here's my take. It needs to stop. At one point, the enlargement of grills was actually pretty cool, at least in my opinion. It sort of gave a car a touch of prestige and luxury. But now it seems like most car manufacturers, after hopping on this trend, have ruined it by trying to upsize one another. Guys, in this particular example, size really doesn't matter. So who should we blame for what seems like a never-ending trend? Audi maybe? They arguably started this trend in 2005 with their W12 Audi A8. Funny thing is that compared to the grills we are getting now, that one on the A8 actually looks quite tame. Let's take a look at a few examples that have seriously made this trend a joke. Lexus, oh yes, arguably the leader of big grills, led by the very controversial spindle grille. You either love it or you hate it. Lexus has said that those that have been with Lexus since the beginning are the ones that find the modern grille design polarizing, while the younger generation are all for it. Lexus executive has said, quote, "Our previous image had been that of a producer of high quality luxury vehicles for years, but that wasn't enough to keep us relevant. It was important that we not only produce high quality luxury vehicles, but also had to be edgy in terms of styling and cutting edge technology." In other words, they had to do what they had to do to stay relevant with the shift of every car having to look sporty, even if that means losing many of its core fan base in favor for a lot more younger buyers. Interesting. You see, here's the thing. The spindle grille doesn't look that bad on some Lexus models. You know, the ones they kind of seem like they are intended for? For example, the Lexus LC 500 actually looks pretty good. The RCF, not as good as the LC, but it's pretty acceptable. But then you look at their entry-level SUV, the UX, and all you can say is, why? Moving right along, this next manufacturer pains me to talk about because it's my favorite car brand, but it has to be done. BMW. Why must you make the social media memes a reality? With every new generation of BMW vehicles, the kidney grills get bigger and bigger. Just take a look at the graphics I found on BeamerLife.com. They accurately represent the ongoing trend of bigger kidney grills. Let's start with the 3 Series. The 2002 platform kicks things off with what appears to be tiny cute little grills. Very slim, with most of its area made up vertically. Looking back at that design of the kidney grills, it's hard to judge fairly because of what we are used to now in the modern era. Only someone that grew up around the 2002 BMW would be able to give a valid perspective. In my opinion, they look too small and definitely benefited from a size increase. Skipping over to the E30, probably the most iconic set of grills of all BMWs because of the introduction of the M3. They still look a tad bit too small, and I feel like the size increase can be justified. My opinion. Moving on to the E90, this is when the grills really started to have a distinctive shape. The E46 got away from the boxy shape and the E90 built on it. I know this might sound a bit biased, but I truly believe the kidney grills on the E90X platform are the perfect size. Well, it's a toss-up between the F30 platform and the E90. The G20 is slightly overdone, and from the looks of it online, many people agree. We're gonna skip over the 5 Series since there is a very similar kidney grills evolution to the 3 Series. Let's take a look at the 7 Series and go all the way to the G12 chassis. Like, why? This doesn't look good. It doesn't even look like it belongs there. It looks like a meme. Anyways, let's move on to everyone's favorite, the X Series, BMW's SUVs. The all-new X5 and X7. I recently got to see what these two SUVs look like in person, and let me just say this, pictures don't do it any justice. In person, the kidney grills of the X7 are absolutely massive, especially in the chrome color. The ones on the X5 are bigger than they should be as well, but much more tolerable. But nothing beats, and I say nothing beats, the kidney grills on the BMW M4 concept. Honestly, no words needed. And now let's talk about Toyota. Ah yes, what a surprise, Lexus parent company. You see, at least the spindle grills used on Lexus models look somewhat stylish in a way. Keywords, in a way. But what Toyota has been doing to the front end of their cars should be illegal. Nearly every single model they offer has gone over the deep end. Starting with their most affordable vehicle, the Yaris, it sort of resembles the mouth of a bigger fish eating smaller fish. You see the resemblance? The only difference here being that the mouth of the Yaris stays open permanently. The Corolla has a similar thing going on, and so does the all-new Corolla Hybrid. The Camry's front end, on the other hand, has a large grille with what seems like an H design in the middle. The sportier XSE model can be seen as a coin toss, since the overall package is much more sportier. Do you see a trend here? The more expensive you get into the Toyota lineup of cars, the bigger the grille gets, which leads us to the absolutely most absurd grille design in any modern car, in my opinion of course. The Toyota Avalon. This has to be a joke, right? This car doesn't even have a front bumper. Plot twist, the bumper is actually behind the grille. Might as well put the headlights behind the grille while you're at it, just like the late 60s Charger. With a grille that big, I expect the car to have a 1500 horsepower twin turbocharged V12 under the hood. Can you imagine attempting to clean love bugs off the front end? It'd be nearly impossible. And I think what bugs me the most is that most of the grille is not functional, just for show, an ugly show. Come on Toyota, this trend needs to stop. Of course I can go on and talk about other cars that are equally as guilty for fueling this outrageous trend. For instance, almost all modern trucks have bigger than ever grills. Some prime examples include the Chevy Silverado HD and the Ram 2500. But the question is, do they get a pass since they are trucks? I mean, they are supposed to look more mean and aggressive, right? Possibly the extra workload can benefit from such a big entry for air. Then there are supercars, which typically don't look bad with overly aggressive grills, but one that stands out as is the Aston Martin DCS Superleggera. What do you think? Aggressive or just plain ugly? That said, there are some manufacturers that have since toned it down, like Lincoln. Do you remember what their MKS and MKZ used to look like? Here's what their MKZ looks like now. Much better. Remember guys, this is solely my opinion and it's all subjective. Let me know how you guys feel about this modern trend of bigger grills in the comment section below. Make sure to like if you enjoyed the video and make sure to subscribe for more. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time.